confess, Father, I confess, cause I've been living wrong.
Hey, yo, what's up, man? SKO to the day, Mr. Flow So Good, Mr. Skip of my what. You guys already know, man, and I'm back with you with another YouTube video. Now, today we'll be discussing a very interesting topic. I know some of you guys have been complaining and saying, yo, y'all are tired of this beef. And some of y'all, to some extent, actually think somewhat it's over or it's now overplayed. I actually agree with you, but it's still continuing, and if it's still continuing, we're going to cover it, okay? But for those of you guys that don't know, Cassper Nyovest has actually come out to, actually accuse AKA and actually say that AKA this past weekend actually came out to provoke him, and he decided to actually walk away from the situation. This is what he actually came out and said. He said, XXXTentacion's death has had me so fucked up since yesterday. I initially heard about him through his beef with Drake stealing his flow. I am a Drake fan, so I thought I would hate him, but I fell in love with his music when I heard it. He was such an interesting artist. It's sad. He continued and said, there's a lot to learn from his life and death. For me personally, I need to learn how to avoid people who have less to lose than I do. The envy that rappers have is heavy. Niggas can get you hurt or killed just because they can't stand your light. It's pathetic. Continued and said, I've been provoked so many times and niggas have come at me with that street shit so many times. I've walked away every single time and I've been mocked and been called a pussy for it. I am getting money and I am feeding my family. The last thing I care about is acting tough. He continued and said, a man who subjects himself to violence is a man who is defeated in any situation. If the best thing you can come up with is picking up a gun or using your fists, you've already lost unless you're in danger or you're defending yourself. I can't respect that, it's weak. Now a fan eventually came out to ask him, did AKA provoke you again this past weekend? He came out and said, yes he did, and I walked away again. He's gonna try to deny it again, but I have it on video this time. I don't know what he's trying to achieve with this tough act, but I'm not about it. Innocent people get hurt because of this dumb shit he's trying to start. I do not respect that man at all. The guy continued and said, report him to the authorities. He continued and said, I did last time and the case was thrown out of court. You know you can buy these things, it's South Africa. Now AKA also said, regardless of circumstance, if someone tells you your mouth say poos to your face, would you do something or not? Ask him for a gay friend. Now as you guys can tell, AKA and Cassper, things are pretty heated at this point. Apparently they got into an altercation again. As you guys can tell, AKA, is kind of suggesting that Cassper might have said some things that made him act out of character. And Cassper basically also said that he had a video, of AKA acting violence towards him, and basically, he's not with all the violent stuff and so on and so forth. Now listen, I'm not even gonna, beat around the bush with this whole situation. And I'm not gonna beat around the bush about it because you guys already know my full opinion on it. And I already said it. I said it, last year in December when me and Cassper had our altercation at the SA Hip Hop Awards. I came out and I simply told you guys that, Cassper came out, a few years back and complained that AKA slapped him. And, he comes up to me at the Sahars and he was acting all tough, pushing me around and saying all sorts of things, trying to break my camera, trying to beat me up and, basically ordering his team, to act violently towards me. And it's so interesting to me and so hypocritical to me when I actually come out and see him now wake up again and come out and complain about, and because I know a lot of people like to get in their feelings because, it's a situation that happened with me, unfortunately, I always tell people, take me out of the situation, pretend it's just someone else, some other random person that had an altercation with Cassper, and tell me if it's not hypocritical to you when you actually think about it in your head for somebody, by the way, our case is still pending, okay? Our case is still pending. The case, that I have against him, with Robust Productions is still pending. And basically what's happening is, the lawyers need to do what the lawyers do, communicate and do whatever. And if that fails, then, the whole thing goes to court. So it's a whole lengthy process, but it's still ongoing. But, anyway, besides that, what I'm trying to say to you guys is take me out of the situation, put Cassper in the situation, and put just somebody else, some random person, And tell me it's not hypocritical for you to wake up and act violent towards one individual, wake up tomorrow and talk about how when you're all about peace, love and positivity. By the way, when that individual tries to call you and say, yo, let's try and settle this without, involving any other 500 things, your people and the people around you act arrogant. And, it eventually gets to a point whereby, there's now lawyers and all sorts of things involved. Tell me that is not hypocritical for that very same person who never even apologized, never even acknowledged that they were wrong, to actually wake up and call somebody else out and actually say they must admit that they acted violently towards somebody else. And more than the fact that they acted violently towards somebody else that is weak, they can't respect that. For me, I look at the whole situation and I'm like, if Cassper's saying that, then he basically is saying I don't respect myself, because clearly, I mean, this is something I experienced. Clearly, you were acting tough. Let me tell you, this guy had the guts to push me, and one of his words were, I'm going to teach you a lesson. If that's not somebody trying to act tough, I don't know what is. So for me, if he's asking AKA, what are you trying to achieve with this tough act? I'm asking him, what were you trying to achieve with that tough act? And basically, that's all I'm going to say about the whole situation. I looked at it and I was like, yo, he needs to get out of here with this whole, hypocritical act. I'm so innocent, I'm such a good person, AKA such an evil person. Listen, that used to work a few years back, but I don't think it works before. I think we're pretty clear right now on the fact that, with some instances, you'll remember even Zuchi a few years back came out and called him out for, basically saying people shouldn't come up on beef when, he came up beefing with AKA. Let's stop with the whole hypocritical act, okay? Now, I don't agree with AKA when it comes out and says, what if somebody said A, somebody said B? I don't believe there's any situation whereby, violence is warranted, okay? Violence is never warranted in any situation. I think people can discuss the situation, and if, discussion fails, there are other processes, legal processes that can be pursued in order to deal with a person rather than acting violent. I fully believe in that, so I agree with Cassper, when he actually comes out and says that violence is wrong. But I'm against the hypocrisy. I'm really against somebody coming out and saying to somebody else that you cannot do this or you shouldn't do this when they actually do the exact same thing. I don't know about fate. So you guys leave me a comment in the comment section letting me know what you think about this situation. Cassper's basically coming out and saying AKA tried to get into an altercation with him again. He says he walked away knowing, what happened at the Sahars. What do you guys think of the situation? Do you guys think it's right? Do you guys think it's wrong? Do you guys think it's hypocritical? Leave me a comment and definitely subscribe. Awesome. Now wait, Emma Pili. I know you want to go, but click that red button and subscribe and put some respect on a younger name, man. Awesome.